much money to hear you talk. But I mean, it is embarrassing, isn't it? The movie is made, and then 35 years later, I come out. I mean, it happens to me all the time. I get people meeting me at the airport to drive me someplace, and the guy's waving aside. Then he says, "No, I'm looking for Shatner." I handed my credit card to the United Airlines guy today. Come here. The airplane ticket to Newark. Guy looks at my credit card, and he looks at me. He said, "Is that you?" Uh-huh. My God, how time flies. It's embarrassing. Mothers bring their children. "Hey, Dickie, there's Captain Kirk." The kid's looking around for Captain Kirk. It's just time flies, I'm telling you. So you pointed your finger at me, and you better have something important to say. What did you have in mind?
I think you look great.
Oh. Okay, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being here. And let's have some fun this evening. Let me put this motion picture into its perspective. Some years ago, a shot rang out at Paramount Studios. Somebody shot themselves because Star Wars came out and made a great deal of money, and the executives at Paramount said, "Well, what do we got? We got to have something." Well, and then somebody must have said, "Well, you remember that thing that was canceled? We canceled it. Star Trek. Let's do a movie with Star Trek." So they said, "Oh, it's a great idea. We'll do a movie with," and who did it? Oh, there, Gene Roddenberry. We'll get Gene Roddenberry. And they got all that going. They wrote a script, and then they decided to get a Class A director, Robert Wise, who had been the editor for Orson Welles on Citizen Kane, and Bob Wise had just finished doing West Side Story, a big picture at that time. So this was going to be a big deal, and then he came home apparently, and he said, "They want me to direct this thing called Star Trek," and his wife said, "Oh, you've got to do that, Bobby." So Bobby Wise said, "Okay." So now he directs the film, and it has all kinds of production problems and slows down. And finally, the production that we did was over, but they were still working on the special effects. Doug Trumbull and the magic of computers, which was very primitive then, and he was struggling, and he did. And this great editor didn't have a chance to edit the special effects because it came in late, and the film was late. And so the cast and everybody connected was in Washington, D.C., waiting for the film, and it arrives like 5 o'clock for a 7 o'clock show, and they show it, and it's kind of long, okay? So, you loved it anyway. That's great. I'm so glad. Keep your eye on that one, okay? And it's always made some money, but it didn't do all that well. So then they said, "All right, Charlie Bluegore of Paramount Studios said, 'All right, that's it.' Goes home and he says, 'Well, we were not going to make any more Star Trek.' And his wife said, 'Are you crazy? You got to do another one.' And so that hashtag #MeToo was started back then. All the wives got together and colluded. So then they handed the production over to the television arm, and Harv Bennett did a movie of 1/3 the cost, and it's that movie that started the whole thing. Okay, that's it. That's all I got to say on the subject.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, Bill.
Well, I just thought I'd drop in. Okay. Gee, this is a low seat. That's lower than I expected to sit. Yeah. I usually sit higher than that.
Right from the end of the movie, that the famous death scene with Spock. I have to bring that up right away because it's such a famous scene. It had gotten a lot of buzz before the movie even came out. Fans were not happy. Tell us what your reaction was to find out that he was gonna be.
Well, it was terrible. They played this. I don't know whether it was a joke. I still don't know whether and I'll never find out. It'll be one of those mysteries like the pyramids or something. Bennett says to me, Leonard doesn't want to do it anymore, so we're going to kill Spock off. And I said, what? We're going to kill, that's the end of the whole thing's over if Leonard doesn't. And he said, well, nothing I can do. And I said, Leonard, are you crazy? No, I don't want to do it. He wrote a book, I Am Not Spock. I said, you are. No, I'm not Spock. You are Spock. And S-P-O-C-K's in your forehead. So I don't know whether it was cunning or whether it was like happenstance, but in any case, he said he didn't want to do it anymore. And when I was in Bennett's office, and he was describing where it was going to go, it was and it'll be in a room. And I said, well, it had a clear door, and we had our hands and the thing. And so I painted this imaginative picture, which we used in production. And then Leonard did weird things like saying to the prostrate McCoy, remember. I said, why did he say remember? No, I don't know. He says things like that. and that shot of the coffin, like the promise of something mysterious, that was added after production. So I knew nothing. All I know is that Leonard said to me sometime later, all right, I'm going to do a third film, but I've got them to allow me to direct a film. And if he got to direct a film, I would get to direct a film. You smart ass guy. That was pretend to die. So I don't know what was in their mind, but it seemed like a negotiation to me.
You guys were close, you and Leonard.
Well, Leonard and I mean, we fought the wars. There was something inherently, I've forgotten now what it was. There was something inherently wrong with Star Trek the movie. And in talking in the dressing room, as we would all the time, we kind of solved it. I don't remember what the solution was. We solved that's it. If you do that. So we went to Bob Wise and I said, Leonard said, you tell him. So I performed what I thought was the solution to the hole in the script. And Robert Wise said, well, that's great. Of course, let's go do that. Do that for Gene Roddenberry. So whatever it was, the solution I had my second performance that day, and I didn't do as well in the second performance because